All right, we're going to jump right into Unit 7, and here we're going to talk about flight instruments. And let's click right here, hit play. And so the things that we're going to be going over for flight instruments, we're going to talk about your classic six-pack. What that is your altimeter, airspeed indicator, turn coordinator, your attitude
Welcome
indicator,
to the flight deck,
heading indicator, and VSI.
Every dial and gauge in this cockpit is a specialized tool designed to keep you informed and safe. Your airplane is equipped to tell you everything necessary to make proper in-flight decisions, but those numbers only have value if you can translate them. It is your responsibility as the pilot to read and interpret these flight instruments with total precision.
Yes.
Throughout this unit, we will explore a wide variety of instruments and dive into the underlying concepts and machinations that make them work. Think of it like learning the inner workings of a fine watch, so you never have to guess the time. By mastering these lessons, you will gain the knowledge required to retrieve all necessary information from your plane, ensuring you are always the one in control of the flight path.
Yes, that's pretty much it. If you can understand those, the classic six-pack, you're going to have a very good indication of where you are, which will also help you out a ton once you finish your private pilot and get into your instrument rating. That's really what you're focusing on, is those kind of things, so that you can be in the clouds and be able to figure out where you are. And so you may or may not have noticed the voice that I picked for Ace, and you can pick a bunch of different characters. And so you might notice that she keeps referencing things in the kitchen, kind of like a mom would, to help a kid understand how something works. And I like that personality the best, so that's one that I picked today. So if you hear any more kitchen references or things like that, that's what that is. All right, and going right into Unit 8, flight manuals and other documents that you're going to have in the plane. I'm going to hit play here. Some of the most important things you're going to have in the plane: the airworthiness certificate.
Walking out to your airplane is a lot like stepping into a kitchen to bake a special cake for someone you love. Before you even crack an egg, you need to know where the recipe is kept and exactly how the oven behaves. Every airplane has its own unique story tucked away in a set of manuals, just like a cherished family cookbook filled with specific instructions. It is your important responsibility as a pilot to become familiar with every little detail about your machine. In this unit, we are going to sit down together and learn how to find and read your airplane flight manual or pilot operating handbook. We will also look at how to care for the other paperwork that stays on board. You are doing so well already. By the time we finish, you will feel so much more capable and informed about your aircraft. Take a deep breath. We are going to learn this together.
And in pilot training, you're going to take a lot of deep breaths, and probably so is your flight instructor, and now even your pocket flight instructor. So one of the other things it did mention we talked about the airworthiness certificate, and they talked about the pilot handbook. The checklist is one of the other things. There should be 2 in each one of our planes. The checklist is so important, and you never skip over a single box in your checklist. That will make you the safest pilot and put you in a good spot. Make sure you're always going over every component of your checklist. And I'll stop with that. Okay, Unit 8, weight and balance. This is Unit 9, weight and balance. This is something you're going to have to factor into for every flight that you're going to take. And what we're factoring in when you think about the weight and the balance, we're thinking about the weight of the plane, the weight of the people, the weight of the fuel, and our baggage. How much baggage we can take with us, and how much fuel that we can use for our trip, and how much we weigh. All right, here we go. He's coming.
Hello, Maura Hewison. Every aircraft has a limit, and as a pilot, your job is to know exactly where that line is drawn. Flight is only possible when you respect the balance between weight and the center of gravity. Think of it like a seesaw. If you put all the weight on one end, you lose control of the motion. It is your